Hello, this is Mahlena Ray Johnson with For Nerdy Girls with Mahlena Ray Johnson. And today our topic is I never thought, surprise, surprise, I, Mahlena, explain why you should be disillusioned by something new every day. But first, who am I? I'm still Mahlena Ray Johnson, and I went to Loyola Marymount for film school. I went to University of Southern California for business school, where I studied marketing MBA, and I got my MBA in marketing, entertainment, and entrepreneurship. Yes, and I am a 3-time author. I'm working on my 4th book, Love It a Luau, which is a romance novel about a refugee suffering from PTSD who is scared to fall in love with a single dad. And over the past 10 years, I have done hundreds of informational interviews and video coffee chats, and I did one today. Also, what else am I supposed to say? I've gone to hundreds of networking events and conferences, and I've also met thousands of people. So I am immensely qualified to help you make a new friend in business. So today we are talking about I never thought. Surprise, surprise. I'm going to explain why you should be disillusioned about something new every day. Now, I was inspired to talk about this topic because I was listening to The Read, as it is Thursday, March 22nd, 2018. And we got to The Read is a podcast by Kid Fury and Crissle West. And at the end, Crissle was talking about the recent terrorism that has been going on in Austin, Texas. And she was disillusioned by the New York Times, I had already been disillusioned with probably last year, maybe even before that. She talked about how alleged criminals who are white and usually male are described in newspapers and American media, and she thought the New York Times would be different. But I will read the quote that really got to her about the person who is alleged to have been terrorizing the citizens of Austin, including Black people in Austin most primarily. The alleged criminal grew up as the quiet, socially awkward oldest child of a devout Christian family that held Bible study groups in their white clapboard house where American flag hangs from the front porch. Now, this description is about someone who allegedly has injured and killed at least 9 people at this point, and has thrown the city of Austin into just being frightened and terrified more than they were before. And it's described as if I have no idea where this person came from. He was part of a Christian family. He has an American flag. What happened? Whereas not just alleged criminals, but actual victims of police shootings, random shootings, of people who are not white, are usually described as what they did wrong in the situation, what they did wrong in their lives, even though they were murdered. They did not hurt anybody. They just happened to be walking or sitting or just existing in their lives, and they are shown as these people who had something in their past that caused them to deserve to be killed. But this person who allegedly has terrorized his whole town is described as quiet and socially awkward. Now, I, as a quiet and socially awkward person, take offense to that very much, particularly because no one's describing everyone else as quiet or socially awkward ever. There's so much attention put on making, and I know the reason, and I know what is going on, and she is still, I think that Crissle is still trying to accept this and understand this. But as I told people, the reason media is covered this way is because of the people who control it. And the people who control most media and most businesses in the United States are mostly white men. So they have no idea how this could happen over and over and over again, hundreds and hundreds of times in this country so far. But we're still taught that these institutions like the New York Times and other newspapers and other media organizations give fair and unbiased news. But they can't all give fair and unbiased news if all the people have the same gender and the same background, not just being a white male, but often from a privileged background who has no idea of how things actually work because of how society has put them in this bubble where they think that they're all great. So Crissle is going under a disillusionment. I have gone under many disillusionments as well, and I know that you all may have gone through some disillusionments too, like learning about Santa or the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy. If you haven't heard about them, you can look them up. I'm not going to explain what's going on with them. I don't want to ruin the surprise for you. But disillusionment can be a very difficult thing for you to handle, especially as we as nerdy women who are trying to go out there and make stuff happen. We have these ideas of what we're going to do. We're going to go out there. We're going to succeed. Sometimes we think no one's going to listen to me and everything's going to go wrong, or who wants to even hear about my product or my service anyway? So about disillusionment, it can be a very disturbing experience, whether it is you're positively disillusioned and you find out that you are stronger than you suspected, or you are negatively disillusioned and you find out the people that you think should be helping you have no interest and no desire to help you. There's lots of disillusionment that can go on. What I want to present to you is that whether it is positive or negative, disillusionment should be happening to you on a regular basis. Why, Mahlena? I'll tell you why, viewers. Because when you become disillusioned with something, it means that you are learning additional truths about a subject. For instance, I have no idea what is out in the galaxies, let's say the Milky Way specifically, because I don't know any others. But if I am going to learn more about the galaxies, well, this one in specific, that means that I'm learning more information. That means that there's more information, hopefully accurate, that is coming towards me and making me more informed about a subject that I want to know about. Otherwise, I just think, oh, there's just a painting up there. Someone hung it up there. That's the Milky Way. Or here's another example about fire safety. Now, some people may think, oh, I just need to have a fire extinguisher in my home and I'm safe and that's fine. Maybe that's not all you need, especially if you might be storing some inflammatory liquid that you didn't even know was inflammatory near some matches or near an object that gets hot. You need to know about that. And you're like, oh my gosh, I thought I was doing it fine all the time because I had a fire extinguisher in my home, that I'm safe. No, you need to check around your home and make sure that you don't have flammable stuff next to other things that can be flammable. So I want you to think about the ways that about things you want to know about, and things that you believe, and things that you haven't really investigated. And I want you to go out and learn about them so that you can become disillusioned. So it's not something that seems so far off and completely out of your depth. So I'll take an example that you can do right now. I want you to investigate something in your industry that you thought was never possible. For me, for instance, one thing that you may know is that I have an impossible goal of becoming a billionaire mom. So what I did is I researched all the women who are billionaires out there. And I found that despite what many people say, that most millionaires are self-made, most of the billionaire women that I found were not self-made. Many of them had families that had money, and they are part of those families, and that is where their billions came from. There is one person I found who made her own billion, which is Oprah. So there is one. There aren't that many more that I could find, but it did take away the myth out there about millionaires for me, that if you just work hard and pull yourself up by your bootstraps, then you too can become a millionaire, because most millionaires are self-made. But what about billionaires? And when we're talking about who you're researching, are you doing separate research on women? And most research is not done on specifically women and how they make their money, especially in the billionaire category. There's so few of them. So sometimes you need to do your own research on your specific section of your industry to find out the information that you need to know. And you will probably become disillusioned about some aspect of that. And that's okay. It means that you are learning more than you knew before, and it makes you stronger in that you can actually address the thing that you need to without just having this faith or belief that you thought before. By doing the actual research and realizing that sometimes your beliefs need to change, and sometimes those are beliefs that you have about yourself. Those need to change, and you need to actually figure out the truth about your situation, which is always in flux. So, to leave you with this, I want you to remember that, surprise, surprise, you should be disillusioned about something every day, because that means that you are learning and growing. And if you have any questions about this topic, please leave me a comment if you're on Facebook. And if you're on Facebook and you just want to leave a private comment, then email me at fornerdygirls@gmail.com. And if you're saying, Mahlena, I don't know how to get this education that you're talking about and learn these things to become disillusioned, can you help me? Yes, I can. Let's have a 30-minute breakthrough session where I help you figure out how to communicate and get the information that you want. You should also email me at fornerdygirls@gmail.com. Again, that's fornerdygirls@gmail.com if you want to have a 30-minute breakthrough session with me so we can work on your communication and information gathering skills. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.